Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to our December webinar. We are excited for you guys to be joining us. I hope you guys can see us. I'm trying to go live on Instagram too, which is a weird half video, but that's okay. It does portrait mode vertical, which it sort of like has half of our faces. But if you're joining us on there, I'm sorry. For those of you everywhere else, in theory, you can watch this on YouTube or on Facebook, which I assume most people are on Facebook. Yeah, let us know. Ooh, snowy New York. You know, we had snow. We still have snow here. We got a lot of snow. We had like
the snowman that they built yesterday died already.
I built it. Yesterday was like 35, so I was like, "Whoa, we got a lot of snow. We need to build a snowman." It took us like 5 seconds because when it's melty, you can build a snowman. And yeah, then today it melted and fell over.
Yeah, all the rain kind of melted.
It rained this morning, which was very depressing.
We've had 30s this week and 70s this week.
That is crazy.
We've had 0 degrees and 30s. So it was like 0 degrees on Monday when our kids went to school. And I was like, oh, this is way too cold. And it was very cold because I walk them down to the bus stop because it's dark out and we kind of live on a busy road.
Do you ever get delays or cancellations?
Yeah.
You do
snow?
Yeah, we had like that whole like Snowmageddon thing a couple years ago that we're out for the week. There's been a couple like ice days that like, I mean, growing up in New York, you're like, really canceling school for this, but no one's equipped for it. We don't have snow plows or salters or anything like that. So
nobody has snow tires down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello. Oh, so we got some people from Indiana. Matthew Pope from good old Morristown. We went to the same high school. Jasper, Indiana, welcome. Ohio.
If you have not commented, make sure that you comment. We are giving away a 3-book bundle of Barney Salzberg books, which he is the author, illustrator of The Beautiful Oops. We are super excited. If you haven't heard, he is the keynote for our next virtual STEM Teacher Summit happening in January 3rd.
All members, anyone who's a member of the STEM Teachers Club, you get to go for free. You should join the STEM Teachers Club if you haven't yet, because you get all of our stuff. It's great.
All of our stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want all of our stuff?
All the lessons we talk about, everything is in there.
That was a great.
It's an infinite amount of stuff. So
there's my mom.
Yeah. Oh, hello. Welcome.
Your mom hasn't showed up in a while.
No, she's watching the Purdue game. I'm sure she's not coming to this. Yes. What else? Oh, we were going to tell them about our competition. I was just telling Connie Ann about the competition.
Yes.
So we have a restaurant that we go to in town occasionally for lunch. And
by occasionally, you mean like weekly?
What's it? No, not every
other
couple weeks or every 3 weeks or something.
Well, the kids are at school.
It's our date place. It's our date place when the kids are at school. And so Carly texted me a picture of this like wine cork tree on Facebook and was like, they're doing a competition to see who can design the best thing out of wine corks. And they said 8 people. We have enough wine corks that we've collected over the years.
Here's the tree that they made out of wine corks.
And it's got lights in it. It's cool. And so Carly texted me and I immediately messaged him like, we want to do this. Cause like, this is.
So the competition is
the ultimate STEM
They give
challenge.
You a bag of 120 corks and we have to create something out of the 120 corks.
And so for our design this year, we live in Elkhart, Indiana. So for those of you who don't know, we live in Elkhart, Indiana. That's right on the border of Michigan near South Bend. And Elkhart is known for one thing, and it's being the RV capital of the world. We make 95% of the RVs. I don't know if in the world, but at least in North America. So if you see an RV, it was made here. And so I'm going to build an RV. I'm kind of working on it. I can show you guys. This is a weird, but yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing while we're. Oh, it's sideways. That's the wrong way. But yeah. Got some wheel. We're just workshopping it here. This is one side of it. It's
We're just
gonna be
in the
3D.
plan phase.
Yeah, this is in the tinker phase. It's going to be 3D. I got some like wood wheels I think I'm going to put on it. And I'm going to get some like plastic for the windows. We'll get some lights. I might even put something on the inside. I haven't decided.
Need the kids like popping out.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to draw some like people in the window or something you can put in there. So, or maybe like draw what the inside would look like. I don't know. Haven't decided. If I have extra corks, I'm going to make an awning that comes out. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, like a pop-up.
Yeah, and then I put a little
side.
fabric on it or something.
You need to get like pictures of the owners, like play to them, have them in the RV.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
that's a good idea. I think the RV is good. I was like, we got to do something Elkhart related. And I was like, well, we could make an elk, which is, we've got elks everywhere and hearts. And, but I was like, I don't know. People think it's a reindeer. Oh,
Okay.
Do I need to keep going?
Yeah,
I'm
without
just-
further ado, Connie Ann has a lot of content that you all actually showed up to hear as much as you would love to hear us
Yeah.
ramble about whatever. Yeah. Take it away, Connie Ann.
Yeah, we'll pop out, let Connie Ann do her thing.
All right, we're here already to the point that we are talking about 2026. I know we just have like 5 days of school left before our Christmas break. So hopefully you guys are ticking away at that. So we wanted to make sure we got these ideas out before you get some well-deserved rest and can be ready for January. All right, so if you are new to our webinars, my name's Connie Ann Roussel. I am stationed, we live now right outside of San Antonio, and I work at Randolph Elementary School, which is on Randolph Air Force Base. I'm in charge of literacy and innovation there, so I teach STEM all day. I oversee the library, and then I get to work with Carly and Adam on the side, developing curriculum here. If you need to get in touch with me ever, you can email me at roussel@rfisd.net, or on Instagram, you can find me at STEMtastic Mama, and then of course, always in our Facebook group page as well. Like Carly said, we have an awesome giveaway tonight. So Beautiful Oops was one of our stories that we use at the beginning of this year as we work through creativity with our students. And like she said, Barney Salzberg is going to be our keynote speaker for the STEM Teacher Summit coming up in January. So this is a 3-book bundle. All you have to do is comment here and you will be entered. We'll do that live drawing at the end of our webinar. So as they said, you get all of these things with the membership. We're going to talk about that more at the end. But if you don't want to wait, if you comment club, then they will get some of that information sent over to you as well. So here are our new pre-K lessons. If you are new, pre-K is brand new to me over just I think the last 6 weeks now. We had a low number of kindergarten classes. So one of our kindergarten teachers ended up taking on pre-K. So I am teaching it for the first time. I'm loving these little kids. That's also because I haven't had any crazy meltdowns in my room yet, probably. But so we have reworked these, and the way we're doing them now, we've got like a hands-on challenge, and then after that we've got some brain break video to get them up and dancing around in the room, and then we come back together to do another related challenge, usually often paper-based, that you can do after. Depending on the time you have, you can pick from either or, split it up amongst different days, whatever works best for you. So our first book this week is No Jumping on the Bed. So here they are making a bed using some cups and popsicle sticks and some Play-Doh to help hold it together. The next week we have Rainbow Fish STEM Challenge. So this picture here is the second challenge where they're actually coloring rainbow fish and adding a sparkly scale to it with a sticker. But the beginning STEM challenge has all different fish there that are large and small. We're putting a little magnet fishing rod with that. And you can either do that making the fishing rod or just using a magnetic wand, and the kids can kind of fish for them and then sort which are the big fish and which are the small fish. Next, we're going to have Whistle for Willie. So Willie, if you have not been familiar with that book, is trying to whistle, and it's going through then him not being able to do it. And then by the end of the story, he can whistle. So here we're kind of working on some of those skills of building with students, working past that frustration. If we can't do something at once, if we keep trying and practicing, then we are able to achieve those goals. And then our last week, we are starting to add different pre-K centers to the membership. So for week 4, we are using those centers with shapes. So as always, there's lots of different options in there that you're able to pick from using simple things you probably already have in your makerspace. And you can print those out and pick which ones you want to use with your students. As we've been doing these with our pre-K students, we've done them at times where we're just kind of like introducing them. So maybe you start where if you're new to pre-K, everyone is doing the same center. So they get the idea of that. And then each time you can like introduce a new one as you go through them. Or if you feel your students are ready to do that, then you can set it up like regular centers, have the different tables, explain what they're doing in each one and help guide them around, whether you let them have free choice of where they go, or maybe you want to give it more structure where they're at a table for 5 minutes before they're able to move on to the next one and you cycle them through. Kindergarten. So the main idea here with our kindergarten through 5th grade is we are back from Christmas break, and we are wanting to make sure that we are going back to those rules that we have in STEM, which I did forget to mention that. So in pre-K, I didn't really think about the rules at the beginning of the school year because I wasn't teaching pre-K at the time. So we are taking that lesson on rules from kinder and first and using that same verbiage, but we split it up between week 1, week 2, and week 3. So we have where we're working hard in our challenges, and I'm blanking on the other 2. But so the basic rules that we use for kinder and first is 3 different rules that we're using. And then we broke that up with week 1, week 2, and week 3 for pre-K. So in kindergarten then is where we're going to Harold and the Purple Crayon. That's where we started last year and when we introduce our rules. So it's just a good review of the expectations you have in your class. We did talk about the rules this year in the introduction day where we went through all the expectations for the class. But now we're moving forward and kind of revisiting them with those other lessons. So here we have Harold and the Purple Crayon. Snowmen at Night is our next one where they're building a sled. This was my first, I feel, real challenge I gave my kindergartners when I first started STEM the first year. And for a while, I thought I had made a giant mistake, that this was too much for them to handle. But I just kind of gave them the time to figure things out. And a lot is like us not having that fear of them failing, because even if they fail in the challenge, we talk about it. We see how we can do different things differently. But so this was a great one that I love now repeating with kindergarten. Tony, I teach pre-K through 5th grade. Next, we are going in the Ugly Duckling Challenge. So we're going into pairing some lessons. And so we have the Ugly Duckling and we have the 3 Billy Goats Gruff. So we're talking about fairy tales here with our students. So for the first one with Ugly Duckling, they're having to build a device to help the Ugly Duckling float. So here's like a little boat that they made. We just get a tub of water and then we test them out after. And then on the second one, they have the troll and they have to build using Duplo, usually is what I always prefer for kindergarten. They have to help build a bridge that will get over and past the troll in here. And then they have the little printables on there of the 3 billy goats. So in this picture, you'll see where those are with binder clips. Another great option is on Amazon, you can get like little game board clips that are easy. I find that great because if the kids pull the animals out of the clips, they usually do not have the strength to put them back in. But with the game pieces, they're able to do that. First grade, once again, here we're doing our rules, which is in Be a Maker. And then we are going over the expectations and how they can be makers in our environment. Then for our first graders, they need to talk about important people. So I always do Martin's Big Words as part of Martin Luther King Day. In this, there's options. They're going to pick an important word, what they find. We often will brainstorm with our first graders before, trying to come up with words together, and then they're able to pick one of those. In this product, you have the option of the size squares that they have that they're coloring in. We usually have them draw the word in pencil so that they can have a guide to know which squares they're coloring in, and then they can do the background after. Then we are going into fairy tales with first grade as well. So here we have Jack and the Beanstalk. They have to create a beanstalk that will hold up the castle in the sky with the giant up there. I've done these a couple different ways. Here I've used 2 pieces of adhesive foam and kind of created a cloud out of that. I've also taken like a small paper plate. You can add cotton balls to it also if you want it to look more cloud-like. And then Rapunzel, here they are helping Rapunzel get herself out of the tower. For this one, we have the printable of the tower. I like to make sure that I can put that on something stable for our students as they're working on it. What I have found best is there's a bunch of vinyl stores around me. So I went to one of the vinyl stores. They have really heavy duty, large cylinders that the vinyl comes on. And I just talked to them and said, would you mind holding a couple of these for me? I did that years ago when I first started the program. And then I just tape these on and are able to use them and then store them away for other options when I'm not, and they hold up really well. Second grade. Okay, so here we're going into those rules again, and we're doing Made by Maxine. So there's some options in here. You can either have them work with different materials to write their names, or you can also challenge them to use makerspace items to build something that can hold supplies for their desk. Then week 2, Squirrel's New Year's resolution. This was a new one last year. And in here that we're talking about New Year's resolutions and setting goals for the rest of the year. So they're going to write that paper, and then they can make a little time capsule to put it in. And at the end of the year, see if they were able to hit those goals for them. Next, we have a brand new one. I know we've been coming out with a lot of new pre-K stuff, but I wanted to make sure all the other grade levels, we're adding some new things in there as well. So in here, I have the 3 Snow Bears. So here we're pairing some Jan Brett books. We have the 3 Snow Bears and the Mitten. So in here, this is like a fractured fairy tale for Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. If you haven't seen this one, this way she's going into an igloo, and it is the home of the 3 Snow Bears. So in part of it, they are on an iceberg. And in this case, they are building an iceberg for the 3 bears to be able to float on. So that is a challenge there. And like I said, we're pairing it with the Mitten, where in here it has all the different animals from the Mitten, and the students have to engineer a mitten that is large enough for all the animals to stay in. Third grade, Miss Mickey and the Magic Bin. Once again, we're looking at all the different things, ways that they can be a builder. This goes over the rules again and using makerspace supplies to see what they can create. The Tortoise and the Hare is a favorite of mine. So in this, we're actually racing the tortoise and the hare. And so here you'll see where I have two different there. I'm using toilet paper rolls for my students, although you can also give them free choice of other makerspace items. In this case, I usually show them different techniques for applying the wheels just so they have a successful product at the end, but they have to figure out what's the best way to do it. On the left side there with the hair, you'll see some plastic wheels and metal axles. Those are listed in the guide for you if you're looking for that Amazon link. So I'll show them where they can hole punch the cardboard tube and actually put the axles through it. They can also take small pieces of straws, tape it to the bottom of the tube, and then put the axles through. And then on the right, they have the options of using some circular cardboard. I have them from 3 Ducks Design that already have holes in them that are easy to use. And then they're able to use straws for axles with those ones. So they can test out which one works best for them. I just give random tables a tortoise and a hare. And then we have a runoff just using a large piece of cardboard to make a ramp and see which one goes the furthest. Table by table we go, and then we have our winner at the end. And as you can see here, like the tortoise has like the tortoise shell type of race car, and then the carrot is there for the hare. So it's fun seeing what the kids come up with as their ideas for race cars. Next, we have the little red hen. So we go over what the hen is doing, trying to get the wheat, and then they have to engineer a tool that will help pick up the wheat. Once again, here you'll see where you have the binder clips, but that can also be done with the game pieces. For 3rd grade, we have another new story. So we're looking at fables here. We're pairing these authors' books with the tortoise and the hare and the grasshopper and the ants. And so on this one, the ants are harvesting for the winter. You have the option there with some printable ants, or I also found some fun little ants on Amazon that they could use as well, but they have to be able to build a bridge that is going to help the ants get over the stream so they can get the grains that they have or seeds that they've harvested back over. So in the center there in the picture, that's just like a small condiment cup that we put some different beads in to add some weight to it so they can make sure they're also adding weight to it as well. 4th grade, what do you do with an idea is our story. Once again, having the STEM rules in there. And then there's 2 different challenges here as well. My students really like the name challenge that's on the left side. This is great to also hit back with those paper techniques that we did at the beginning of the year with how they are going to fold things and then having that piece attached to it so they can make a little 3D name card. And then there's also a paper building challenge at the end as well. We have another new one. So this one I'm super excited about. Carly and I have been talking about a while about having some kind of lesson that can be a good introduction to our students about bridges and the strength of it. So this story is Pop's Bridge, and it is about the construction of the Golden Gate Bridge. So in here, the students are going to have a couple different templates for them to try. So where they're using a flat piece of paper and seeing how many cubes or counters can fit on it, folding up the sides of that paper to see how that affects it, and then accordion folding it and seeing the strength. So this kind of gives them that idea with the triangles as it being a strong structure and testing out which structure is the strongest. And then hopefully then this will help them as we're going on into these other stories. So we're continuing our theme of bridges. First with Secret Engineer. This is a great story about the Brooklyn Bridge. And so if you're not familiar with this one, there was a lot of science with going down underground as the Brooklyn Bridge was being built and not knowing about how fast they were coming up, a lot of illness. And long story short, the Roebling, who was in charge of the bridge, ended up falling ill because of this problem with the bends. And so his wife actually took off to be the engineer for the build of this. So it's a great story about, especially for our women and girls, showing them about engineering. And so this is the start of it. And then we are going into 21 Elephants and Still Standing, also based on a true story, where when the Brooklyn Bridge was built, a lot of people were fearful of it because of the span of it and making sure it was safe. So P.T. Barnum actually took 21 elephants as well as some other animals and took them across the Brooklyn Bridge to show the strength of it. One other tidbit with the third one with Secret Engineer, which I like doing, is to tie it in with the 21 Elephants and Still Standing. I found some like mini elephants on Amazon. I put those in the guide as well. So instead of using cars, I use little elephants on there, and that helps tie it into 21 Elephants and Still Standing. For 5th grade, The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes. So really going over those accidental inventions. And so I feel like as the kids get older, sometimes there is that more fear of failure as they're overthinking things. So going over all the things that we have today that were actually accidents. And then once again, there is a name challenge in there as well. Week 2, we're doing Martin Luther King as well. This time they're building a podium for it. And there's the printable Martin Luther King that you can use with that. And then week 3 and 4, if you were a prior member, you saw the great Lonnie Johnson be able to talk to us at our previous summit about the Super Soaker and his other great inventions. And so here we're working with 5th grade. We're giving them 2 weeks to really go through this process of what they want to invent, going through the engineering design process with it, and then having time to actually build it, test it, and go about it. So we have some additional products that are new as well. With all these things, if you're not familiar, these are all suggestions. You can move them around to what's best for your students. Maybe it's something you're trying to help a classroom teacher with. I know we don't go back to January 8th, so our month's a little bit shorter. And we just want to give you lots of different options to see what's best for you. So here, our mystery makers, we did at the beginning of the school year. We had a lot of requests for them, so we gave you some Christmas ones. And now we have some winter ones as well. So the winter mystery maker missions are available in there. Those have paper bags where you put the challenge in there and the supplies all set. And then you give those to the students to work on them. Next, if you haven't seen this posted, Carly had put this out. We have our 2026 Creativity Challenge. If you do not have this yet, you can find it on the membership, or if you're not a member yet, you can comment 2026 and they will get this freebie sent to you. This goes along with our creativity challenges. So the students have the digits 2026 and they have to see what they can transform it into. Some other ideas of things we already have. We have our winter centers that were created last year. So these are great for putting up, especially if you have some off schedules as you're coming back to school. I know one of the things we've been struggling with our school is a lot of the teachers are not having time in their schedule to come to the library. The library is part of our Imaginarium program. I've talked about this before, but so we have our STEM lab, we have our makerspace, and our library is all part of our Imaginarium program. So they come to me for 2 days, 1 week in the STEM lab, and then go to the makerspace the other 2 days, for 2 days in the other week, and then we flip back and forth. So to kind of help our teachers and make sure the importance of our library is not lost when we come back from Christmas break, we're going to take them during their makerspace days. So they're just going to have maybe like a 20-minute to 25-minute period after library. So day 1 in makerspace will be library, and then we're going to have our different centers that they're able to go through. We'll keep them up for the entire month since they're only there for a short amount of time. And then that second day, we definitely don't want to lose that makerspace time for them because they really enjoy that. So that will be our pure makerspace day. Another one we have is bringing in the new year. So there's two options here. You can see the one on the left, we recommend for our older students using brads and having that movement piece for it. And then on the right is a paper bag dragon that's much easier for our younger students to complete. So what I'm planning on doing when we get back, last year we were introduced to the St. Jude Epic Challenge. If you do not know about this, so St. Jude's Hospital, a completely free hospital for children battling childhood illnesses, and a way to raise money is by competing in the Epic Challenge. So we started this last year. I did it with my 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. I had done it after spring break because our family night was May, and I wanted to kind of squeeze it in before that. So they have to use the engineering design process to come up with a prototype of an invention that would help children or the doctors at St. Jude's. So to do this, there is 4 different prompts that we have. There is a whole guide in the membership for this. And you can use this with your students to help them plan it out. So they can come up with something that would help students, the patients there educationally, help them socially, especially because they're away from their friends at a long time, can help them emotionally as they're going through treatment, or it can help them physically with whatever ailments they're going through. So the students will pick one of these. Sometimes they do overlap, but they are going to plan. They come up with their prototype. They build it. What we added to ours last year, you'll see here. So we had a showcase night last year where it was just for the St. Jude's projects. I invited our students to come. They could show it. We sold tickets for $1 a piece. And then the families were able to go around and place the tickets on the inventions that they would like kind of Shark Tank, ones that they thought that they should, that would be useful to be brought through as an actual invention. So if you see here, we actually have, I got small display boards on Amazon. And besides making the invention, the students had to write about it, include the importance and what it does for the people going around. So here is my Sophie. She was in 3rd grade last year when they did it. When Sophie was diagnosed with diabetes, she had gotten a bear that helped her show the different parts where she could get her needles. So she had talked to her team about it, and then they made a similar bear that had different things that they felt like they could help the patients at St. Jude's. So to do this, there's little printables in there for the tickets in the membership for you. We cut those apart, and then I just use some envelopes. I just tape the top of it on the shelf. The parents would come by and put the tickets in. And then what was great about that, the envelopes, I just sealed them at the end of the night and then dealt with counting them up for the couple days after that to go through. So here were some of our winners of the different projects. It's amazing to see like what the kids came up with. So this first place one, they were one of the first ones finished, and I was kind of like, okay, we took some pipe cleaners and cardboard circles and put them together. Like, what exactly are you making with this? And they felt like, well, if the kids were in the bed for a long time, maybe they were going to lose some strength. And so the idea was it was springs in between, and they would squish it back and forth to make sure it kept up the strength in their arms. So I was really proud of everything our students came up with. As it showed before, we raised a little over $600 for St. Jude's last year. And then when I was trying to figure out how I could do this better this year, I wanted to make it part of our family night so that we had a lot more people coming in to it. So because our family night is March 3rd this year, I decided that I want to have my 3rd through 5th graders get started on the Epic Challenge as soon as we get back from Christmas break to give them enough time to make sure everything is done properly. Here's some of our other challenges that they created. This second place one really I loved, because you can see here they created this like computerized system, but to show the different screens that were available on the base here were different cards that you could actually like slide in and change what was on the monitor as they were showing people. So I thought that was a great idea that they came up with. And then our glow in the dark basketball hoop they had there. So when they were playing that as well. So it's amazing for the kids. It's great for them to see, one, if they like inventing, that this can actually be something that they do in the future. And two, how their inventions can help other people, bringing back just how lucky so many of them are in the lives they have and their health, and being able to see how they can do something good for other people. So definitely check this out. We also, in our summit last year, we had a member of St. Jude's who was a patient there, whose goal was to work there, and then was able to achieve that goal, and then was actually sent by St. Jude's into space to orbit the Earth. So just how all the work that St. Jude's did for her made all these trickle-down effects for her life being a possibility. So she shared a great story with that. So here, if you're looking for this, if you go on to lesson plans, scroll down below underneath where it has all the different months, you'll find where it says St. Jude's Epic Challenge. You can click on that and you can find our guide in there with all the printables for your students. So inside our program, we like always sharing what we have going on in our school. So Balloons Over Broadway is one of my favorite times of the year. Growing up in New York, my sister and I got to go down with my parents many Thanksgiving mornings to see the parade. So I love doing that. You can see here we've got the Ozobots going on. We did our Kubo. And then our fourth graders did a great job with their floats this year. I loved adding those into it. And kind of like this accidental thing that worked out. So as you can see in some of the floats here, if I play this again, so you'll see here where it's some of the printables that were for like the paper plate challenge and balloon challenge. And so I was out for a day and I left this with a sub, and they just got confused and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought this was supposed to go with this. So they used it. And a lot of them, it actually worked really great. It was a great little oops that went on in our classroom. And I loved how they also repurposed it. So you can see here, they used the face of a chick and the wings, but then they used the feathers of a turkey and decided to turn them into peacocks. So those accidental oops end up having great results. Here is with pre-K. We had our own Balloons Over Broadway there. They were using the little tweezers to match the colors with the pom-poms. And then we had that paper that we added where they were working on their color skills, and in the slides matching the color and the word, so that resources on there with the slides, if they were not sure what the colors were, they could look at it. So another thing I just want to stress to you as well is looking in your community for resources. So we have so many great resources here for you, but it's also great when we can invite our community into our classrooms to share what we're doing. And so last week, I had the fortunate opportunity where we are in a military base, and we have a new group of Space Force that is part of ours. So this gentleman is one of our kindergarten dads, and he's kind of like on the ground level of working on this education program. He falls under recruitment, but rather than like going around saying, hey, you should join the Space Force, he's working on teaching students what the Space Force does. And not just what the Space Force does, but also the different agencies like NASA that work along with the Space Force as other opportunities and pathways for students if they're looking into something like that. So not only did he come in, and you'll see on the top right that U.S. Space Force little satellite. So he talked to the kids about what satellites do, how the Space Force runs them and keeps track of them, how it helps them with things like internet, how it helps their parents with GPS. But on the bottom there was his prototype where he just used random Legos he had at home from his son to decide how he was going to engineer these Legos. So he made that prototype, got it mass produced, and now it is a Space Force program. So it is something that if you're near a base to try to reach out to, they are looking, he's going to the Pentagon in the next couple weeks to really promote this program. He already has a ground radar Lego that he's going to come back with. It's in production now. So to talk to us in the spring, and then has another one that is in the works as well. So just another option of things to look at of all different ways you can have people come into your community and help out. Here he is here. So not only did they build it, but then they brought them around this big global map and talked about if there was a message in Texas that was trying to get to a base in Greenland, how it had to be taken up to the satellite, and the message was moved around from satellite to satellite to get around the globe. And then he also had the slides there as a connection there. So like I said, anyway, we can get those real world connections, careers that are out there, and make what we're doing every day in our classroom relevant to our students. So here is our Canva tip. So it is that time of year where the kids are all sick, which then often gets us sick, or maybe our own children are getting sick that we have to stay home last minute. If you are not aware and did not see at the beginning of the year, we have a whole pre-K to 5 STEM tub for subs that you can get ready to go. But maybe you know a little bit ahead of time that you're going to be out and you want to keep them going with what we're doing. Because we have all these slides, if you have the capacity to share with your subs, I wanted to make sure you knew how to do that. So in our case, we have iPads that our subs can borrow, and then they can screen share. And I'm able to give my sub a document. So on here, if you go to share, after you've created yours and tweaked it however you want, you can go up to share, and you're going to look for this one that says public view link. From there, you are going to create your own public view link from the slides. This goes for our slides that you're using, but also if maybe there's something else that you're making that you want to add and share as well. So you're creating that public view link, then you're going to copy it. And then all I did was on a doc, I said, okay, we're going 3rd grade with Miss Perry's class. Their lesson is the grasshopper and the ants. And then I pasted that link to it. When they click that link, it will pop up as a new tab on the browser, but it is not going to require them to sign in or have an account on Canva. All they'll be able to do is click through your slides. They won't be able to edit anything or change anything on you. But I just wanted to share that along because just this week we had a teacher that was out, and my husband is studying to be a teacher now. So she was trying to share stuff with him and didn't know how. Excuse me. Now, if you do not have the capability to share something digitally, but do have an iPad still, you can also create a QR code in Canva. So in Canva, on the left side, there are the apps. In the app, you can search up a QR generator, find that QR generator, put that code in it, generate your code, and then you can have a printed lesson plan with the QR code where all they have to do is then scan it with the iPad, and same thing, it will pop up in their browser, and then they can share it with your students. So over the last couple months, we have been shouting out some of our members for some STEMspirations that are going on. Here, if you have not seen it, we've got 6-7. So this is a freebie if you would like to use this with your students, because if we can't beat them, we might as well join them. You can comment 67, and this freebie will be sent to you. So this is from at Books and Bows Smith. And so these are some of the great things that her students came up with the 6-7 challenge. Chelsea W. used the reindeer obstacle course for her students. This is great for makerspace options where you have all different things that they can pick from, or you can give them a set of supplies for them to build. And then here we have some more creativity challenges. This was It's Not a Turkey Leg by Jordan O's class. I love the Ratatouille one. Creativity challenges, if you haven't seen them, there is a bunch of stuff on the membership with them. We started out the year with our students. The Creativity Hall of Fame is a huge part of our program at our school. And it really just challenges students to really think outside the box and see what they can make things out of. So if you want more, you can get 30% off your first month or 30% off your annual membership by using the code Carly and Adam Club. Regularly, the membership is $15 a month and the annual membership is $144. You can also talk to your school and get a PO and reach out to Carly and Adam and run that through your school account. And then, as Adam said, in January 3rd, we have our STEM Teacher Summit coming up with Barney Salzberg. And if you are a member, you're able to get that included. So it is free for all of our members to come on. It is, we have some live sessions and a bunch of pre-recorded. So if that day doesn't work for you, you're able to catch up on it after. But it's a great way to get ready to come back for a second year, get us hyped up for the rest of our school year. I did see some stuff coming in the chat before about the Olympics. Yes, the Winter Olympics are coming. So that will be our focus for February. We've got some new ones coming out. We are reworking our old ones as well. So that is going to be a part of our January planning webinar. So if you come back on Facebook, January 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to go over all of those things. And this is your last chance. So if you have not commented yet, make sure you comment now before Adam does our wheel to see if you have won.
Yeah.
I see a question. So, Tony, the summit on January 3rd, we start at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So that'll be the keynote with Barney. We do like announcements at 9 a.m. Eastern, and then we jump right into the keynote. But like Connie Ann said, I know we have people on the other side of the country that when you're on break might not want to get up that early, and we totally understand that.
From Alaska.
So you have access as long as you are a member. Like if you sign up for a year, you have access for the whole year to all of the replays. So replays are available for a year.
Okay, so we are giving away a 3-pack of books by Barney Salzberg. Salzberg. I'm going now. Here we go. The suspense is killing me. Wendy. Congratulations, Wendy. You are our winner. Just reach out to us at info@carlyandadamblog.com, and we will get those sent to you, and hopefully they'll be there by Christmas. Would be awesome. So January 3rd is the summit. Yes, so it'll be on a Saturday. So we'll have a live session at 9 a.m., noon, and 5 p.m.
If you've
Eastern
been around
time.
for a while, you might remember Manuel Herrera does some awesome
We're doing some
drawing
stuff
sessions.
at lunch.
He will be back at noon doing our live drawing session. And then we have our pre-recorded sessions. Connie Ann is doing a session.
Yeah.
And then also you have, if you're new, you have all the replays from our summer summit too. Our 3-day summer summit are all on there. So I saw some people that recently joined were going through all those and commenting on all of them. So yeah, they're all there. Whenever you have
and
time.
if you comment club, you'll get a coupon. And
Yes, if you are not a member and you are interested in
For your
all the
first year.
resources and the summits that Connie Ann talked about, if you comment club, you'll get that 30% off link sent to your messages. If you comment 2026, again, you get the free 2026 creativity challenge. If you comment 67, you will get the free 6-7 creativity challenge.
thank you guys for joining us. We know this time of the year you guys are probably feeling a little bit worn out. We appreciate you taking time to learn more about STEM. And we will see you guys at the summit. So thank you guys for joining us.
January
Good night,
3rd.
everyone.
And then hopefully we'll see you January 14th to talk about all of the fun new winter games.
If you have a
Stuff.
question, go ahead and email us, info@Carly and Adam blog. And we'll answer it.
Yeah, info@carlyandadamblog.com.
Yeah. Along with if you find any typos or anything wrong with them. We do fix those when people ask. All right. Good night, everyone.
Night.